welcome everyone to another episode of Rise Together. As you can see, we are back in the Walmart home office, and I'm sitting down with DJ, the Senior Manager of Marketing.
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's good. For brand social.
For brand social specific, which some people probably wouldn't know what exactly that looks like. So walk us through that. What is brand social?
And so typically any content that you see, particularly coming from Walmart's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, we're revamping Pinterest, all of that content typically comes from my team. And I have a lovely reporting structure. And so our team is split between different managers based in Hoboken, but also based here in Bentonville.
Really?
And so we have different verticals, and so everyone is responsible for different priority categories for the company. And then we work with our different marketers to help figure out how we promote those items, those products, those innovations, those events, those sponsorships on social.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, it can be. It can be a lot. Yeah.
So we're almost too far now. I'm so excited. You said Pinterest. You said all these different things. I'm like, I hadn't seen Pinterest.
Yeah. Well, we're revamping that, and so it's coming. It's out there now, but we're revamping it. I have a colleague in Hoboken who's working on that project.
So for the audience, what's the best way right off the top to find you? Social media wise, or to find some of the channels you just talked about.
Oh, sure. We're always at Walmart on all of our channels. Please follow us. Quick plug. We appreciate it. If you want to find me, it's just D.J. Vaughn, VAUGHN. And I'm pretty consistent with that across all channels, LinkedIn and whatnot.
Sure, things flip and flop. But
yeah.
So is DJ, is that the real name? Because I've seen it spelled two different ways. So I was curious.
Yeah. Good point, Serge. And so if it's more so LinkedIn, if you're looking to connect, or if you just want to send me an email, it's just D.J. Vaughn, my last name, VAUGHN. If it's something more so on Instagram and Snapchat, DJ is spelled out, so DEEJAYV, and then my birthday, which is 2/20. So
nice.
Upcoming next Wednesday.
All right. Well, happy early birthday.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll text you at midnight.
Okay,
That's my
please.
tradition to do.
Midnight
text for individuals.
Okay. Send a gift to a Walmart gift.
Send a gift. Okay. That's awesome. Well, like I said, we're talking with DJ. And DJ, the first question we always ask and Rise Together is kind of tell us your Walmart story, where you've come from, what you've been up to.
Yeah.
And you kind of talked real briefly about what you do now, or at least what you're around.
Yeah. So I have actually been with the company for less than a year. Believe it or not, it feels a lot longer, and I'd say I'm lucky to have my boss and my boss's boss have been quite kind in extending different opportunities, not just to me but to my colleagues on our team. And so it feels like we've gotten a chance to be almost not veteran status, but we've gotten a lot of senior opportunities and different projects that allow for a different visibility, I'll say. And so I came from Memphis. I was working at it was FedEx, that has a lovely relationship with Walmart.
Sure. So then where you go?
So we're good. And luckily enough, I was in charge of one particular vertical. One responsibility when I was at FedEx was I was on the social media team, previously on the corporate contribution side. Long story short, I was in charge of a regular series that we called Social Sessions. Social Sessions was about social media education for our team members. And we brought in different representatives from top brands and influencers and celebrities that had a connection to Walmart or that we deemed credible in the field. And so a quarterly basis, we would bring in different representatives and they would talk about all things social and best practices so we can educate our employee body.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool program, and I was really happy with the work that we did.
And you probably met some cool people.
Oh, I met Matt Barnes, NBA Chandler Parsons, Ava DuVernay, Magic Johnson.
What?
Like we had all of these great relationships, and so they were kind enough, either on social or in person, just to indulge us a little bit. And I had already targeted Walmart for one of the companies that I would reach out to, and hopefully we can get some sort of social media representative to talk about the great work that Walmart was doing. And it was right around the time of maybe the 1 year celebration of the Jet.com merger or acquisition.
Sure.
And so I reached out, tried to get a representative to come to Memphis to talk about social media, and then through that I heard, the social team is being revamped at Walmart. Would you be interested in potentially looking into different opportunities? And then from that, the conversation started, and I got invited to have a conversation with Dana, who's my boss's boss now. and also just to submit some different ideas for different Walmart-centered products or activations, like the Patty Pie and like our Oscars activation and some other different activations. And so I literally did this long list of ideas. I socialized them with Dana, and about 2 weeks later, they asked me if I would think about joining the team and if I wanted to see if I was a good fit. So I came down and we had a great conversation and ended up joining the team about, I'd say, a month and a half later.
Wow.
So it was a really quick turnaround, at least that portion of it. And
Sure.
so I've been on the team ever since and enjoying myself here in Bentonville.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a warning to those out there that, man, you send somebody to come talk to us.
I'm telling you.
We're going to find the right people.
Yeah. It was a good time. I'm glad it all worked out so nicely.
That's awesome. And so you've been here a year.
Yeah.
And
it'll be a year next month.
okay.
Yeah.
Give us some high lows for those, a lot of the individuals that watch the show are associates in the store, out in the field.
Right.
So they don't really have a good grasp of home office. You as kind of an outsider coming in, what's some of your thoughts on home office, Bentonville, Northwest Arkansas?
Yeah, it's everything moves at a quick pace, but that I think they would say that in store as well.
We would.
Yeah. Everything I think is about quick wins, but it's also about quick learnings. And so I've been pretty fortunate that we are encouraged to test things out. We're encouraged to experiment. And that something that might be deemed a failure is actually a lesson that we can apply that can inform any sort of strategy or any sort of tactical decisions that we make in the future. So you're always encouraged. My boss always says, come with me with big ideas. So every one-on-one, I try to come up with like a different activation or a different project, or we can do this a little differently. I will say here at Home Office too, because we have that dedication to productivity and effectiveness and efficiency, that you're encouraged to even think outside of your role and your responsibility, but think larger. So how can you make the team better, not just yourself? So think about the company as a whole, and not just be so, I'm not saying self-centered, but come outside of yourself and think how you can be an asset to the company as a whole. And I think that's what I've appreciated as well. Also, just learning the importance, especially within a bigger organization, one, to come in with a listening ear, have some compassionate listening skills, definitely come with your ideas, but also be willing to learn, and so that you don't come off as if you know everything, or that, granted, your experiences are great, and we want you to contribute as much as possible, but also be willing to learn, so that you can take your experiences and you can take your learnings and hopefully produce something great for the company.
That's great stuff. I mean, that's going to be great for our stores as well. I mean, think about that. Coming into a situation with you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So to listen, to learn what we can, at the same time to learn fast, to have come with big ideas. Those are all good things. I love your thought process on just the team, what that looks like as far as, we in the store, sometimes we can get focused on our area or our specific space in the store, and we want to make it look good, and we know that other areas maybe don't look so great, but we want to make sure our space looks good. Then we go home at the end of the day and we're not worried about it. So that's kind of, how's that helping the team? How's that pushing us all along? And I'm not asking you to, put in all that extra time and effort, but I am saying, what does it look like to think about the team just as much as we think about our individuals and making Walmart win?
Exactly. And I'd say, too, just to give a shout out to the culture here. One thing that I was really pleased with, and I've heard it from different individuals, but I can specifically say from my boss and my boss's boss, I've heard them, and even colleagues or different leaders in other organizations, they've always told me, if you go out there, you do your best, we have your back. And so when you get that reassurance that you can come to Walmart and be your authentic self and your ideas can be championed, and there's always a polite way, even if you don't have the best idea, to be able to provide that constructive criticism. It's knowing that they still have your back as long as you're willing to put in the work, and as long as you're willing to, again, bring your authentic self to work. So that's awesome. That's sort of reassuring to me.
Yeah, put in the work, be authentic. And we'll support you and have your back. That's a great word. I'm glad that that's how you're seeing things and feeling things here. What can you tell us about anything? Any cool things coming up that you can tell us about, or what's some of your favorite stuff you worked on so far? Maybe that's a better question.
Favorite stuff that I've worked on so far. I think all of the associates may know. Hopefully, you all know. but I'm going to give it a plug anyway to increase my share rate on Snapchat. We have a Snapchat filter program. And so typically within every 1 week or every 2 weeks, individuals who are on Snapchat have to be on site to access our filter. And so we've had different opportunities where we've had fun with the filters, whether it be something like Walmart related or something pop culture related, and just having a good time building that audience there. Most people think it's just an engagement play, but what we're doing is actually building our Snapchat following, learning more about our audience. And so once we understand that audience segmentation, we can apply that learning to our different paid ads on Snapchat. So it's strategic. So it's like a fun play, like you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm just adding a filter, but what you're actually doing is you're helping us to better understand our customers. And so that's been fun.
Don't spoil it for those out there.
Oh,
we just want you to get on Snapchat and enjoy it.
Please, use our filter.
But there is. I've seen it. I think there was one yesterday, or Valentine's, right?
Exactly.
Love is where you fill the cart? Or where you...
Oh, that was, so you're combining two right there. So there was home is where the cart is, which
that's
I thought
it.
was
Home
particularly
is where the cart
funny.
is.
Yes, home is where the heart is, home is where the cart is. That was mine. And then
that was awesome.
Well, thanks. And then we did a 1-day activation for Valentine's Day. So it was just Happy Valentine's Day. And so I'm normally in one of the stores, one of the local stores, wherever I am, just for the day of activation, asking different associates, or I'll send you an email in a heartbeat. Serge, who is great to work with, by the way, I have to give him a shout out. I'm just asking people to either allow me to use their image and with the filter overlaid on it, so that we can do a better job of promoting that particular program.
Sure.
So that's one of my favorite activations.
So let's make sure we drill that home. So Snapchat,
exactly.
Go on Snapchat, go into the store, and it makes a geo-fence around that area. And so when you're in the store, it knows you're there. Yep. And so when you slide to the left and start pulling up the different filters, Walmart will come up.
Exactly.
And you can show your Walmart spirit, love.
Exactly. Yep. And you'll know that it's a Walmart filter because you'll either see the Walmart logo, or it'll be Walmart in the copy, or you'll see the spark at the top. So if you have any questions about whether or not it's a Walmart filter, that's how you would know.
So that's outstanding. I'm trying to think now, because there's so many different facets, right? When it comes to then there's Walmart TV that I think some of our associates, and that's not this.
That's not this.
And so that's a different channel altogether as well. So lots of cool stuff there, and I want to make sure we hit, because I know that you've got a meeting here coming. So any other big, just maybe in pre-Walmart or even with Walmart, just some lessons you've learned along the way?
My motto is, I'm not saying that everybody has to follow this. It's not for everybody. It's worked well for me. I'm from a small town in North Carolina, and so I was always taught by my grandfather, you treat everybody like they're your best friend until they give you a reason not to. And so build that relationship, make sure that you are being as nice or as respectful to people as much as possible, because I've always been told you can only control your own reactions, you can only control your own behavior. And so if when someone mistreats you, that's on them, but you have at least done your part. And so I try to carry that energy into all that I do, because to me, especially in this job, even outside of this job personally, relationship building is important.
Sure.
So my thing is, you can be professional, but you can still be personable. So the two don't have to be mutually exclusive, and so that that intentional effort to go out of your way to make sure that you're at least acknowledging people, even if it's just a hi or a nod or a hey or something like that. Make sure that you're going that extra mile, and that goes into customer service as well. But I think it has different implications in your personal life. So that's one nugget. Another one is just the importance of communication, and we've already touched on that a little bit. But because Walmart is so big, and other brands that I've worked with are so large, even my first gig out of college was maybe a 12-person office in philanthropy, but just the importance of communication. So at all times, I want to be able to articulate what I'm working on, what I've learned, and what results I have, so that I'm always prepared. So whenever you're having that chat with a colleague or with a senior leader or anyone really, you have your shtick down, and that you have your elevator pitch.
There it
so
is.
that no one is ever wondering, like, what does he do? Or why is he here? I couldn't tell you what DJ does. No. If you ask, I'll tell you. And then just make sure that you are equipping, I'd say this is more so on the professional front, your boss's boss, your leadership team. Make sure that you're equipping them with that knowledge, so that they know exactly what you're doing and how you're contributing. So that's another lesson there. I'd also say, and I think this just goes back to what I said originally about karma, just understand that try to be as optimistic and positive about every situation that you can, because you never know, your energy is contagious. and what you put out comes back to you. Not to get all spiritual on you, but still, I think that it resonates. And so I had different instances, literally even outside of this job, where I have a motto where it's just like, be kind for no reason. So like, don't look for anything in return. So it's not even about reciprocity. It's just about giving your best and watching it work for you.
Yeah, I mean, in legitimately, be kind for no reason. But if you need a reason, it might come back for you.
Exactly. Yes.
So it's a good way to. I think that's so good. I'm passionate about helping people understand how positivity and focusing on those things can matter for them. So last question. Sure. This is the good one.
Okay.
The spark.
Yeah.
What does the spark
what y'all
mean to you?
So many great activations with the spark. I had to think about this one. So one, when I think about Mr. Walton, I was thinking about entrepreneurship and persistence and how it can pay off. So that's one element. I also think about the great activation that you all worked on with Local Social, Zach and Brandy and others with Be the Spark. So showing how you could, granted I'm using this literally, but light up a room with your personality, or you could be a great community advocate. You can be a great customer service rep. You can contribute in some way and allow your light to shine. And it could be in different capacities. It can be in different ways, and how your spark can be unique to you. So you don't have to try to shine like someone else. You can stay in your lane. You are equipped with all the skills and talents that you need. And so find your best way to contribute and use your light.
And do it. Yeah, that's good.
And I have to give a shout out to Russell too with Walmart World, and I think he was instrumental in helping bringing that campaign to light. So that's what it means to me. So
that's so good to hear, and I hope people hear that too, because we had Russell on the show, and he talked about uniqueness as well with the spark, and so now you're hearing it from two individuals saying we want to see you, the Walmart associate. We want to see you in the Walmart world. We want to see you using the Snapchat and using the social media networks and hashtagging it and liking it and adding the @ on different things that you do.
Yes.
And you maybe get a shout out from DJ going, hey, we'd love to see more from you. You never know.
You know what? If you do that, I promise you, something's good is going to happen.
They'll connect at some point.
We'll give you a shout out. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on.
Sure. Thanks
and I know, like I said, I know you've got to fly here right now, but man, I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate DJ for coming on and sharing the show with us today. As always, remember you can find us on YouTube, Facebook if you want to watch the video. Of course, you want to listen to the audio, check out SoundCloud and iTunes for the podcast. Rise Together.
Got it all together.
It's all there. I don't know about professional, but it's here.
That's good.
So thank you guys so much for watching.
All right. Bye, y'all.